Why should everybody want to optimize their sleep and put considerable effort into optimizing their sleep? Well, put simply, sleep is the foundation of mental health, physical health, and performance of all kinds, cognitive performance, physical performance, etc.
Welcome back to Biohacking Insights. According to Huberman, a strong foundation is essential for everything to function well, and that foundation is sleep. And skimping on sleep weakens the very core of your physical and mental well-being. So how do we unlock this magic power of sleep? In today's video, we'll get into the toolkit that will transform you into a sleep master. We'll learn how to fall asleep quickly, stay asleep soundly, and even bounce back if you wake up in the night. Let's find out.
In other words, whether or not we keep our memory as we age. I could go on and on about all the terrible things that can happen to somebody if they don't sleep well.
So watch until the end, or you might miss out on the critical secrets to optimizing your sleep.
Fundamentally speaking, get that morning sunlight viewing. I promise you will be grateful that you did. It makes everybody feel better, feel more alert, and it will greatly assist with your ability to fall and stay asleep later that night.
Tool number 1, morning sunlight. The first thing we do when we wake up is reach for our phone. But what if we head straight for the window? Not to get all gloomy that we had to wake up, but for the sunlight streaming. This simple switch will be your first step to unlocking the perfect 24-hour sleep cycle. As you open your eyes, your body is already starting its natural clock. Your temperature rises, gently nudging you awake. This internal warmth is what triggered you to wake up in the first place. But to feel truly alert and maximize your sleep later, you need to work with this rhythm, not against it. So you need bright light, ideally sunlight, within the first hour of waking. Aim to get those sunshine photons into your eyes. Now, what is the science behind it? Well, sunlight triggers a hormone called cortisol, often thought of as a stress hormone. But cortisol has a good side too, especially in the morning. It boosts your immune system, revs up your metabolism, and sharpens your focus. All the ingredients for a productive day. Now, don't worry if it's cloudy. Even indirect sunlight helps. On clear days, you don't need to stare directly at the sun. Safety first. Just face it, blink naturally, and soak in those rays. Sunglasses are great for later, but for this morning ritual, let your eyes drink in the light. Even eyeglasses or contacts are okay, as long as they don't block UV rays. The key is getting enough light to kickstart your internal clock and set the stage for a fantastic night's sleep. Now, a few key points to remember. First, ditch the sunglasses and skip the window viewing. Direct sunlight on your bare eyes is what works best. Second, consistency is key. So aim for at least 80% of mornings, and if you miss a day, try to double your light exposure the next day. Tool number 2, temperature.
You will also want to leverage not just light, but temperature as a tool. It turns out that your body temperature and your ability to fall and stay asleep are very closely related.
So you've woken up, embraced the sunshine, and you're ready to conquer the day. But how do you take your alertness to the next level? Let's talk about temperature. It's another powerful tool in your wake-up toolkit. So imagine this, a quick dip in cold water. It might sound shocking, but it's a fantastic way to jumpstart your morning. A cold shower from 1 to 3 minutes will do the trick. Why? Because a shock triggers the release of adrenaline, a natural wake-up call for your body. But cold water also increases your core body temperature. It works like a thermostat. When your body feels cold on the outside, it kicks things into high gear to warm you up from the inside. So that short burst of cold water is actually followed by a surge of warmth, leaving you feel more alert and energized. And the benefits don't stop there. Cold water exposure also increases dopamine, a molecule that fuels your motivation and focus, perfect for tackling that to-do list. Now, if cold showers aren't your cup of tea, there are other ways to raise your body temperature. Exercise is a fantastic option. Some people swear by a full-blown workout first thing in the morning, but research suggests that the ideal times to exercise are either right after waking up, 3 hours later, or 11 hours later. Of course, the best time for you might vary depending on your goals and preferences. But here's a simple strategy. Want to feel sharp in the morning and sleep soundly at night? Combine sunlight with cold water or light exercise. And remember, this doesn't have to replace your regular workout routine. Aim for at least 5 to 7 days of exercise a week, even if it's just a light session in the morning, a walk, some bodyweight exercises, or a short jog. Anything to get your blood pumping and your body temperature rising.
Another potent lever for adjusting your sleepiness and wakefulness is caffeine.
We've talked about the importance of sunlight and temperature for waking up and setting yourself up for a good night's sleep. But that's not all. The first hour of your day is like a switch that flips the entire course of your internal clock. Now, you might be thinking, wait, isn't this about sleep? Well, everything we do in the first 60 to 90 minutes after waking up has a ripple effect throughout the day, impacting not just your energy levels, but also the quality of your sleep at night. Let's talk about caffeine, a familiar friend to many morning routines. Now, if you're prone to anxiety, especially panic attacks, caffeine might not be your best friend. And that's totally okay. You can skip this part entirely. But for those who love their cup of joe, or tea, or yerba mate, here's how to leverage caffeine to optimize your sleep and wakefulness. The key is timing. Many people reach for a cup of coffee as soon as they wake up. There's a hidden benefit to waiting 90 to 120 minutes after waking before your caffeine fix. Why? Because during that time, your body naturally clears out leftover adenosine, a molecule that makes you sleepy. But by giving your body a chance to clear the adenosine on its own, you're setting yourself up for a smoother, long-lasting energy curve throughout the day. No more afternoon crashes. And those crashes can often lead to a desperate scramble for more caffeine later in the day, which can disrupt your sleep. So waiting for that caffeine is like giving yourself a double dose of wakefulness, no initial drowsiness, and no afternoon crash. Here's the general rule. Avoid caffeine after 4 p.m. Ideally, even earlier like 3 p.m. or even 2 p.m. This might seem tough at first, but for many people, delaying caffeine intake leads to a more sustained energy level all day, eliminating the need for that afternoon pick-me-up. If you absolutely must have something later, stick to decaf or limit the amount of caffeine. The bottom line is, there's no one-size-fits-all approach. Some people have crazy work schedules or kid schedules that make sticking to a rigid routine difficult, and that's okay. The key takeaway is that these tools, sunlight, movement, and strategic caffeine use, can be powerful allies in your quest for better sleep and a more energized day. So experiment, find what works for you, and enjoy the benefits of a well-tuned internal clock. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss any of our life-changing videos. In our next video, we'll reveal the easiest way to burn fat and build muscle. Stay tuned.